the New York Mets are unarguably one of the best teams, if not the very best in the playoffs right now. Let me tell you why. The Mets have held the best record in all of Major League Baseball since June 4th. They were just fighting, contending to win a playoff spot. They did so, literally having to play the day after the Major League Baseball regular season was scheduled to end. So on short rest, they went straight into the wild card round. They absolutely upset the Brewers. Not to mention, then they're facing the Philadelphia Phillies. First time ever the Mets are facing the Phillies in the playoffs. Now, you could say it was just a regular divisional game since both reside in the National League East Division. Philadelphia has struggled in the second part of the season, but they did have some good points. And let me remind you, the Mets bullpen, despite going on massive winning streaks in the second half of the season, the Mets bullpen, they were not a good bullpen. They had many struggles, many inconsistencies. The Mets bullpen, not only in the wild card, but in just the overall playoffs thus far now in the NLCS, has been absolutely terrific. The offense is just clinging and clacking with massive, massive big hits. I mean, when have you ever thought that this kind of Mets group, I mean, you have such unlikely players and players that you've never heard of before, like Tyrone Taylor. Not to mention, when did Jose Iglesias become a 325 plus batting average hitter? And Pete Alonso, despite having a pretty bad season batting average-wise, he was able to contribute. Francisco Lindor literally carried the team on his back for such a long time, and he's having a hell of a playoff tenure thus far, coming up with clutch home runs, and Mark Ventos is just absolutely dominating. Who would have ever expected that? This Mets squad is special, and it's special on a whole different kind of note. It's the definition of it. And now New York goes back to Citi Field after tying the series up 1-1 in LA. If the Mets go up and win these two games at Citi Field and go back to LA with a 3-1 lead, you best believe this series is going to be won in 5 games. The Mets are California dreaming. This is the kind of season that Hollywood is going to make a movie about, or at least ESPN coming out with a 30 for 30.